Right, so this is it then. This is the Formula car.
This is the one that you may have seen online, getting a lot of traction there. But
and I saw it in the event as well, didn't I?
Yes.
But no one could go on it, so.
Yeah, we just had it in the autoplay mode, so everyone could enjoy it moving, but yeah.
So what's the sort of pitch in that compared to the one I've just been on?
It's half the size with one less actuator.
So a 3-inch?
3-inch tri-motion.
Right, okay.
So effectively you've got an actuator here, here, and then one located just at the front.
Okay.
They've been discreetly incorporated into the design,
Okay.
but if you look for them, you can find them.
So is this like an events one, or is this a customer one?
Both.
Right,
We
okay,
have
so you're going to have it in...
commercial clientele who use it as a draw to their stands.
Okay.
And we have private customers who are like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, I need it. Yeah,
And I need
both.
these ones.
I think you need the gloves as well for this one.
So what's the car, track?
So we're doing Spa, which is a big fan favourite, with the F2004, which again, people love the sound of.
Okay. So an F2004, so it's like a Schumacher Ferrari from that era?
I guess you could say, yeah.
Belts again?
Belts again, not as prominent as the system upstairs, because you've got half the motion, and it's a passive system that's dependent on the motion.
And what about all the steering? Is that a Simicube again, or is it?
Same system.
Same system.
Different
so same
wheel
steering.
rim though, of course, so it's more fitting for the discipline.
Okay. So getting in looks like, what about getting out? Because I'm a bit heavier than I was a few years ago.
Getting out's not the easiest,
Okay,
but we'll see what happens.
We won't keep that on film. Okay, so getting in, am I just feet first?
Feet first,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
What we can do to make it a little easier,
yeah, make it easy, make it easy.
we can
that's
pop this off. Just going to rest that there. Give that a little whack.
Okay.
Fortunately, the quick release is nice and tight, so you don't get any wiggle in there, but makes it a little hard to get
feet
out.
first.
Yes. And you just need to be a little careful with the harnesses, but granted, it's a lot easier said than done.
Okay.
Usually I'd help, but this one's a bit...
Well, do I need harnesses?
You don't need them,
No.
but you will feel them, so it's up to you.
I'll go without, it's fine.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get out as well.
So the pedals are actually touchscreen. So, sorry, not touchscreen, they're touch sensitive, but electronic.
Right, okay. So this is, okay.
So you can situate those where you need them.
It's just weird having my feet so high. So this would be similar to a Formula car?
Yes, yeah.
I think I pressed a button there and it went all.
Oh, okay. Resolve that.
The steering wheel. Hello? There we- Does this steering wheel go anywhere forward, or is this fixed?
This is fixed, but what
okay.
we often do is if the customer's not too happy with the position, we can just add a little extension there. Really
Or
simple to do.
I'd have it further that way.
Okay, yeah, then
I think just, although I could go down even more here. I don't know why, I just like messing around with that for no reason.
it is pretty satisfying.
What about the pedals on this? What are they?
Same as what you used upstairs.
Same as upstairs,
yeah.
okay. So is that sort of a high end or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, again, a new pedal set's been introduced into the industry, which kind of revolutionises what is high end.
okay, yeah.
But they're still fantastic pedals.
So what can you do in here with all these buttons and everything?
So that's what enables a customer, that is going to get moved, because just to
Okay.
put into your mind, this is all a work in progress.
Okay.
We're not happy with the position of that, but effectively you
Because
jump.
it's quite tight, isn't it? You have to be.
You can jump in, press Assetto Corsa, and the game will just launch into Assetto Corsa.
Okay.
This customer also actually has VR, so what that will enable
Who's
them
that best lap? Is that you? Who's that?
Unfortunately,
Jasmine?
that's just AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alonso, gee. Right, okay.
But yeah.
So I'm in Assetto Corsa, Spa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be quite fun. Just let me. It's quite hard for me to assess the volume out here.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, what did I
we've
press?
got to jump.
Oh, because I pressed. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have any problems with the Stream Deck there, I'll
So I have to
disconnect
put it in gear once the lights go then?
Once the lights disappear, yeah.
Okay, okay.
It tries to catch you out though, so.
Whoa! He's gone. Whew. I don't know, I got that back. Right, let's just settle this down a bit. Can't just go flat out like this. Right, let's go.
You can also see your relative position to everyone else on the track above.
Every time I hit the, I need to stay away from the curbs, I think.
Yeah, very slippy.
Because I was doing the curbs on the last one. Yeah, it's very slippery on those curbs. I think it's also because the throttle is just so much more sensitive. I need to just be more controlled.
Yeah.
Feels good though. We'll see if we can do one quick lap. Get our eye in it. So the throttle being sensitive is why it's kicking me off there, I suppose.
Yeah, a combination of multiple factors, tyres, how Acetylcorsa handles those curbs.
I think what's funny that I can't get my head round is the tyres aren't moving. So I'm looking at them.
It is an option to actually have them move.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. It's just a little bit weird.
Yeah, we have a private customer who has exactly that.
Because I feel like I'm locking the brakes looking at the tyres.
Oh, right.
Right, we had a bit of a warm up then, so how much is a sim like this, Leon?
Something like this is in the region of 100,000.
100,000.
It does depend on the size of motion, and this customer actually keeps adding things to it.
Okay. I think it would be great in VR
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. There's two elements to that. Some people say, what's the point in the VR if you've got the body? But feeling yourself in the driving position with VR, it does feel incredible.
You feel much better.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm starting to get really into it now. Oh, Jesus, not that one. I got it back. That was just a downshift, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's quite sketchy on the, oh, jeez. So it's quite sketchy on the back end, isn't it?
I think you're just clipping the curbs as well.
Yeah. So I need to stay away from the curbs.
Yeah.
So I loved that motion in the last one with the Nordschleife. This feels good.
Yeah. So
It's just going to take time.
Yeah, it's a different application of the motion because the distribution of the motion is a bit different, and you've got one less actuator. So the way I usually describe it is, in a tri-motion, you've effectively got one actuator at the front trying to represent two wheels. In the quad motion, each wheel in game is being represented.
Okay.
So you do get a much more accurate representation of the real car.
It feels very nice, is what I would say, rather than the accelerator feels nice. The brakes feel very, very good.
Yeah. So
I say the only thing I had is just losing that back end where it's, but it might be because I've just gone from an R8 with four-wheel drive straight into this.
yeah, the way the wheel setup will dictate that as well. Also the software title, so iRacing is better for feeling that slip.
Right, okay.
In my opinion. But there's a lot of dispute in the community. iRacing, Acetylcorsa, R-Factor 2, these are some of the big names that people tend to find benefits from one and cons in the other.
Okay. Let's just try and get a bit of a rhythm going. Obviously I don't feel that pitch like the other one where it's grabbing me on the harnesses like it was, you know?
Yeah, it is worth also noting that I have toned the motion down substantially.
Have you? Okay.
Just because of, so for example with the pitch, you have to be conscious of the fact that there's that huge splitter wing at
Right,
the front,
yeah.
which you don't want crashing into the ground. So, and also there's two sides to it. The large amounts of pitch and roll can really add to the G-forces.
Okay.
But if you're looking for that suspension recreation, then it's a bit too much. So it's finding
It does
the balance.
feel good though, I must admit. Now I'm actually getting going.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm talking to you and trying to take it in and trying to drive.
Yeah, and of course you're new to it.
feels
So,
just through here you can really.
but yeah, the main goal with this one is to be a showpiece. This is something that you attract people to your stand with, or you impress,
Massively,
impress
yeah,
your
especially
friends and
having
family. Yes, yeah.
And it does feel really good. That's that second gear bit of.
Yeah.
Surprised how late I can brake then now.
Yeah.
So would I feel? So I'm just trying to think. My sims are say 15k.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think how different is it? I think it feels different because I'm in a Formula car.
Yes.
The actual steering and that feels the same.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I feel much different other than being in a Formula car.
Yeah. No,
And I think if the wheels would actually move in, I think that would make. But I know you've got these big updates with these Simacube active pedals and that are coming, aren't they?
yeah.
So they're going to give even more feedback.
Yeah, they elevate sim racing completely, in our opinion. All the guys that have tested it here, it's the next. First it was
Just that next level.
Yeah, VR was a big thing, and now I think these pedals.
And
are
that's
the
why
next
these
iteration.
sims will become just so similar to a car, apart from the. I mean, if you could start to get the G-force and the feeling of that
Yeah.
would be a big thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, again, I mean, some companies relatively achieve that. I think they're with like Type D simulators, they refer to them as. But then you're looking at millions of pounds, and
Yeah,
you need a unit like this just to house it. Our customer in Florida with one of these, for example, literally has this in his house.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone and bought a unit, it's just literally in one of his rooms in his house.
Feels quite. What I'd say, it feels quite easy. As in, it's not like a. I know it's quite heavy on the steering. You can probably lighten that off, but it's quite a nice feeling to just be able to go around Spa in an evening yourself, you know, and just have a little race round.
Yeah, and I can't exactly remember what settings I configured this with, but you've got to remember there's so many layers of settings, as you might know.
Yeah,
You've got
to
the
make it-
wheelbase settings, you've got your pedals, you've got the in-game settings and how it handles those settings. Yeah, so even things like just turning stability control off in a Assetto Corsa has such
Massive,
a
yeah.
huge effect in that intuition that you was talking about on iRacing upstairs, which isn't so much of an option. iRacing is just hardcore, realistic settings, trying to recreate the real thing. But
So hopefully you'll be able to maybe bring this to some of our car shows.
wow.
Yeah,
There's some
bring it along,
logistics in
yeah.
it, but it might be feasible.
I just want to see how late I can. You can just brake later and later and late. Yeah, I mean that feels really good through there. And I can probably start going a gear higher now. I think when you're in those lower gears, you just get so much wheel spin.
Yeah.
It's just spinning me off.
And again, I can't even remember what foundation settings I've put
Oh,
on
on this, okay.
But if I'd driven...
So I mean, if I just throw this in, just almost, but it's controllable. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
I'm totally losing the car if I've just
Yeah,
go
and not
crazy
many
in
people
here.
have had the luxury
just
of driving an F1 car, but if I'd been in one, I'd be able to say, okay, this needs to change
Yeah.
on the wheelbase, pedals feel a little incorrect in this regard, and that's where we sit with our customers and say, well, how does this feel different to your car? And then they give us real basic feedback, and then straight away they're like, this is as close
Yeah.
to the real thing as I felt. So yeah, it's definitely come a long way, sim racing.
Right, okay. No, I really enjoyed that. I say I'm quite shocked by the one you got upstairs that we're in, because that you know, I've been watching a lot of the YouTube videos on the Nordschleife, and it really did feel super realistic.
Yeah.
So I think I would have the wheels. You said you can have, if you're having them moving, how does that work?
So
I know how a wheel moves, but I'm
Yeah,
trying to
so-
think how it moves, and then does it stop or does it?
so it just uses a mechanism that you can actually see under here, and it's just basically piggybacking off that, and then you can basically articulate the wheels to
Oh,
match.
so you actually, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be better because it always feels like that's not moving, but that is moving,
Yeah,
which
and
is
then
strange.
one thing that was pretty cool about that was you could actually feel the friction of the real wheel on the
Right,
floor.
okay.
So what we done to compensate for that was we just lowered the amount of force feedback,
Right, okay.
and we got it to a point where it felt really cool. So it felt
Right,
like
okay.
real rubber on the road,
Yeah.
which I've never really seen in any other application in sim racing. It was just a nice little quirk.
That's exciting. I'm more excited about the other one.
Okay.
I feel that's more where I am. I've really felt like I was in a real car,
Yeah.
as close as could be. I think because of the braking and the
Yeah.
pitch, and maybe this is quite a flat track. So if we were on something like the Nordschleife or something
Yeah.
different, it would give me more pitch and roll.
100%.
But this is only a 3-inch pitch, whereas that one was a
Yes.
6-inch.
Yeah, but different software titles, there'd be some
Right, okay,
elements that
yeah.
would
So maybe
transfer there.
iRacing as well.
It
on
would
this.
feel
Yeah,
a bit
it'd feel
different. But as I did say to you before you jumped in this one, those modular systems, what we call them upstairs,
Yeah.
they are aimed at that demographic,
Yeah.
the driver training. This is
Yeah.
very much a showpiece as
Yeah,
well
yeah, I
as
can see that.
a fun, enjoyable sim racing tool.
No, I've enjoyed that. It's been really good. I say I'll just make a few adjustments for myself in here, and then yeah, it's pretty awesome. You get out.
So,
what's?
I mean, the way I get out is,
Yeah, but you're half the size.
yeah, so a lot of upper body strength, essentially. Try and slip your feet back so you're almost crouching, and that should help a lot. And then just carefully as you step out, as to not step on
Yeah, the
the
side
bodywork.
bits.
Yeah, that's it. And then I can pop this back on.
That is hot. Whew.
Yeah, gets extremely hot in there.
I should have took this off really.
You'll find as well, if you have the volume up high, that really gets you
Does
going
it
as well.
right?
Yeah,
Does he?
yeah, because the speakers are actually hidden off to the sides.
Right.
So that's
okay.
why I was saying I can't assess how loud it is without
Oh,
your
okay, because
input.
I'm hearing
Completely
on the-
different out here to in there.
Okay. No, brilliant. Okay.